And I think anyone that's followed your career should just understand like where you've come from to now. And it's been so cool to see all the things you've been doing. What is the most recent photo of you? You're like, oh, you use the TNA ones. It's like TNA. That's so cool, man. How did that come to pass?
Yeah. So yeah, those are like my newest promo pictures and they're like my favorite. So I'm like very like keen on using those. But yeah, first and foremost, TNA was an amazing experience. I was super, super grateful to be there, but just everybody backstage was just amazing. But I had been in touch with a couple people that worked there and it was just one of those things. I was a local and they gave me a shot and brought me in and I did my duty essentially for the night. But I'm hoping to be back there and be able to kind of show them a little bit more of what I got.
Yeah, and I think people underestimate TNA a lot. And I would say that just with all of the wrestling out there now, even just talk about the last 20 years, talk about the last 10 years, the last 5 years, I think a lot of people really underestimate what TNA brings to the table and what they've brought to the table for years, especially when it comes to the world of women's wrestling. With women's wrestling, I've always believed that they've been a champion of that, even before a lot of other promotions really started to highlight it. Like you've had
Right.
them with the women's tag team titles years before anybody else started doing it. And for them to bring you in, that must feel like a massive accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure. It was always a goal. When you start this crazy business, you kind of put yourself in there and like, okay, what do I want to accomplish by year 5, year 3, year 2? You kind of set it out. At least that's what I did. And that was always a big goal for me. And I agree. I think they, glorified women's wrestling for the longest time, even when the bigger companies didn't. And just to be a part of that and the growing roster that it is now, even having people that I've touched on the indies there as well. It's super cool and it's hopeful. And there's some weird little portal there that leads to the WWE.